This is a Generation Iron exclusive with the 2019 Arnold Classic preview and prediction show. My name is King Kamali, and let's get ready to rumble and have some fun. Here we go. All right, so we have 10 competitors. There were going to be more competitors, but unfortunately, you know, folks, we live in 2019, and a lot of people out there have visa problems, AKA poor Hadi Chupan. So Lionel couldn't make it, couldn't get his visa, so we got 10 competitors. But the good thing is that the 10 competitors that we have makes it a very interesting show because there is no clear-cut person who's supposed to win it or someone who's got the upper hand on another. It's very, very close. There's a potentially 4 to 5 guys that actually can win this show. So, in no particular order, let's start with Mr. William Bonac. William is the defending champion. The man is thick, the man is freaky, and you know what? If he comes in at 100%, he's hard to beat. William has really no weak points other than he looks like a compact version of Kai Green. What does that mean? It means that he doesn't have that beautiful small waist symmetrical thing that flares out, AKA Victor Martinez. But William's got one thing that a lot of these guys don't have: consistency. He's got the Dexter Jackson factor that goes with him. You'll never see Dexter out of shape. Won't happen. And the same with William. William is going to be a very, very tough man to beat at this show. Nicest guy, and he's got that King Kamali attitude. Fuck you if you don't like him. Love you if you love me. He is definitely in the mix and in the hunt for the win. William, bring it, baby. Bring it. Now we have Raphael Brando. This Brazilian, very much improved, good-looking kid. As Jim Mannion, our president, would say, he's good for the sport. He's good for the sport. Raphael's got a lot of good things going for him. He's got great symmetry. He's got great structure, small waist, flares out. Does he have the mass to stand next to some of the freaks? I don't think so, but he's lucky in the fact that this is the Arnold Classic. And the Arnold Classic is always known for conditioning. If he brings it and is ultra shredded, he might crack that top 5. Brand, I'm rooting for you, bro. Next, we have Brandon Curry. Brandon, he's very much improved. I like Brandon's physique. I liked it when he turned pro, and I liked it now when he's Mr. Kuwait. Listen, these guys that go to Kuwait, they either make it or they don't make it. Brandon is made for Kuwait. He's turning into a monk. He goes there, eat, sleep, train, and it works for him. That Groundhog's Day shit either works or doesn't work. It will never work for Chris Cormier. Chris needs chaos in his life to improve. That's Chris. But for Brandon, this is exactly what he needs. He's got one thing that's very dangerous this year, is the fact that his legs are catching up to his upper body. And that means serious shit when it comes to the other guys. They should be worried. Brandon, he's got to come in shredded. If his conditioning matches his improvements of size, the man is dangerous. Next, we have Steve Kuclo, the King Snake. I like Steve. A lot of people, I don't know anybody who doesn't like Steve. Great guy, great personality. Reminds me of Cutler. You know, he's got that wide frame, big, massive, imposing body parts. excellent. He's got a good waist too, line. You know, his waist is a little bit smaller than Jay's, so it gives him a more symmetrical look. Problem with Steve has always been his conditioning. If Steve comes in with that crispy look, which he still hasn't been able to get, he will be in the mix. Don't know. I'm rooting for this guy. I'm rooting for all these guys, man. I like Steve. Bring it in dry, baby. Next, we have Josh Lenardowitz. The man's coming all the way from down under. I love Australia. I have family down in Australia. I visited Australia, some of the greatest fans in the world. Josh has a whole continent, country, whatever it is, backing him up. Let me tell you something about Josh. He's going to be the biggest man in the show. He's going to be the most imposing man in the show. And he's, from what I've heard through the grapevine, coming in the best shape of his life. If that's the case, Josh can and will be in the mix. Now, does he have the beautiful body that some of the other guys do? No, he does not. But neither did Branch Warren, and Branch won this show twice. Josh is going to be dangerous. Next, we have Cedric McMillan. Listen, folks, I've said it once, and I'll say it again. A 100% Cedric McMillan can beat any bodybuilder on this planet, including Phil Heath and including Sean Roden. Cedric needs to come in. I want to see him. Who doesn't want to see Cedric coming at his best? We, as fans of bodybuilding, want to see Cedric and see what he's made of. The man is a previous year champion. That means that he's got some clout coming into the show. We all know what Cedric is capable of. And I've heard through the grapevine, through some little mouse that told me, you know, on the sneak tip, that Cedric, as of today, is 282 pounds and in the best shape of his life. You know what? If that's the case and he comes in full, that's the key. Comes in full, Cedric is your champion. Let's see what happens. I'm rooting for this guy too. Next, we have Luke Sando. Luke, thick, muscular, Dorian Yates-ish type body, mixed match of lots of freaky looking body parts. Great lat spread from the rear. Luke, he needs to come in shape. If he comes in shredded, he will look like he belongs up there. Listen, let's kick the ballistics. Let's be real here. Can he make the top 5? I don't think so. But being invited to the Arnold Classic and showing off and making improvements will have the people's backing him up. And if you got the people backing you up and the fans, that's exactly what you want in this sport. Luke, come in shredded. Don't come in flat. Let me say that one more time. Luke, come in shredded, but do not come in flat. Now we have Akeem Williams. Another New York monster. Akeem, nice guy, represents New York to the max. Let me tell you something about Akeem. Akeem Williams has what I call the Orville Burke factor. If you don't know who Orville Burke is, go Google him, you'll see. Very similar physiques. Very, very freaky, outstanding muscles. He's got the tiny waist. He's just a freak of nature. What Akeem's problem has been is the conditioning. If he can nail his conditioning, Akeem will be a problem for any one of those guys. He's one of my dark horses too. We'll see. I hope Akeem brings the front. Now we have Roelly Winklaar. Another guy from Oxygen Gym in Kuwait, another Beta Budai guy, Roelly, People's Champion, 3rd place at the Mr. Olympia. He's got all the momentum in the world coming into this show. Roelly, just a freak, man. He's another one of those monstrous guys who keeps improving. He's a true bodybuilder in the sense that he lives it. He eats it, he breathes it. He's just a bodybuilder. This guy lives the lifestyle, loves the lifestyle. Roelly, if he brings in his legs as conditioned as his upper body, his upper back, and his arms and shoulders, he will be dangerous, and he's the front runner to win this show. But can he? Can he bring that conditioning like he did when he won the New York Pro? I still have not seen that conditioning on Roelly because remember, folks, when you get bigger, you lose a little bit of that conditioning. Let's see. And finally, we have my good friend, Mr. Victor Martinez. Victor, love the guy. Who doesn't love this guy? The Dominican Dominator. Victor, between 2007 and 2010, that was this, for me, that was his window. He was Mr. Olympia. He had a Mr. Olympia physique, and that was the greatest physique I've ever seen on Victor. But it doesn't mean that it's over with right now and all that stuff. I'm far from saying something like that. Victor, I've seen the pictures. He's coming in more streamlined. He's gonna show off that beautiful physique that he has. I'm sure that his conditioning will be right on because I see it in his face. He's really sucked down dry. But does he have the mass like he used to, especially in the legs? You know, listen to me, folks, and put the bullshit aside. When your age gets this way, your legs go this way. That's just the way God made it. It's unfortunate. Look at Kevin Levrone. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it is. So I'm rooting for you, Victor, man. You know me. I love you to death, bro. Give him hell. All right, so for the predictions, I'm gonna give you my top 5, not necessarily in order yet, but I'll give you the top 5. I think it's gonna be Roelly, Cedric, William, Josh, and Brandon. It's gonna be a tough show. Listen, any one of these guys can win the show, and depending on, it's all gonna come down to conditioning. I always tell these to people, you know, the youngsters who contact me and always ask me, you know, what should they do or which direction they should go, and I always tell them the same thing. Even if the judges tell you to soften it up, that's a fucking crock of shit. You gotta come in butt, bone dry, shredded. Conditioning will be the whole thing of this show. Whoever comes in the best shape will win, and here's my prediction. I'm only gonna give you one, and that's who I think is gonna win the show. If, and this is a huge if, and I'm rooting for him, trust me, anybody who knows me knows that I root for this guy a lot. If Cedric McMillan nails his conditioning and comes in full, let me repeat that. If Cedric McMillan nails his conditioning and comes in full, he will be your Arnold Classic champion. So they're my predictions right there. And again, GI, we're here. We're gonna keep coming. So peace, eat your chicken and rice, and bye, bitches.